What's up, everybody? This is Joseph R. Wheeler, the third, the artist, the founder, and the president of the ONYXCON Foundation, welcoming you back to another very special episode of Relationship Goals in the Art Life. Now, if you're new to this content, let me explain what I mean. That title is very significant. Again, I said relationship goals in the art life. What is the art life? What is art? For that, I want you to go back to my very first video of this type of content here on the ONYXCON channel. Make sure you watch that and it'll explain everything I feel about it. So we have a variety of content here. If you're not familiar, I mean, we do everything from outdoor content, okay? We got fishing, we got hiking, we got all that, we got adventure, we got travel. We definitely adding in travel big time. Travel vlogs will be a huge part of the ONYXCON experience because, as we say these days, ONYXCON is a lifestyle. ONYXCON started in Atlanta, Georgia, my home right here, ATL, okay? Forever and a day, all right? Feel me? And we basically started as a Comic-Con, all right? And we're trying to, not trying, we will, when it's time, bring that back, all right? We're working on some things. So for all of y'all who only know us in that regard and want to see that come back and want to get back up in the convention scene and have that vibe again, we're working on some things. We are working on some things. So when we went into relationships, I noticed a lot of really powerful content starting to be developed online, especially on YouTube, and a lot of people becoming what they call relationship gurus and other titles, and people sharing their experiences in romantic, intimate relationships and what they feel makes a positive, progressive, stable, lucrative relationship. I see a new renaissance of particularly Black men who have been frustrated by what their options are in America, wanting to go abroad and see what else the world has to offer them. If we can see dysfunction, it don't matter how much you're telling me this is good, I see the bad results. It's dysfunctional. That's how I live. That's the message I share. Nothing is perfect. Nobody's system is absolute. But if you see better results in certain areas, and if a person knows themselves individually and says, well, this is important to me, and that is important to me. I can't find that over here with these American women, as much as I'm bound to find it over here with women in South America, parts of Asia, parts of Africa, parts of Europe, parts of Australia, parts of the Polynesia, the rest of the world. If you see better results, and thanks to this technology that we're all looking at and enjoying, if you keep seeing examples of why this can work, well, let me get my money together for a ticket. This might be where it's at. Let me see about it. You only live this life once. While I'm in this body, let me see what can happen to make sure I fulfill the optimal, happy experiences, functional experiences, thus leading to the best life outcome, life enrichment, and more enjoyment. Because all that miserable side of life is not what we're here to live. So these men are hopping planes and going to these fantasy destinations and meeting these amazingly gorgeous women who are treating them like they've never been treated before, not giving them certain kind of attitude, not having certain kind of expectations too early, not having certain kind of pressures on them as they build as friends. Just maybe they are just friends with benefits on a couple of trips and things, but then maybe one really captured their heart and they go back and they keep going back and they find themselves like, you know what, I'm gonna move here, I'm gonna marry this woman, we're gonna make a life of this. That's beautiful. If it can happen. And it does. It has, and it continues to happen, and it will. Now, here's the part I want to add to that from a personal experience. Nothing is guaranteed. And no matter how wonderful it looks, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Let's get into that. Now, I had a personal experience, and for the sake of and respect of that person, and knowing that they might see this, and knowing that I want to look back at this and be proud of anything I had to say, I'm omitting any direct details about my experience, but I am going to speak generally to still hopefully make some major points that could help somebody who's considering being, a traveler with also the intent of not just exploring, but possibly finding a healthy, intimate relationship. Whew. Number one, if you're dealing with a lady from a culture that has a more old spiritual base, and it still means something to those people versus how sometimes in America people say they're religious, but they do everything opposite of what they say their religion is supposed to uphold, you know. But they literally live by it. They mostly do the codes of honor and things that they are expected to do. But then they sway outside of it a little bit too for personal reasons because like I said, function versus dysfunction. Some of this old stuff just does not make sense. And some of it definitely doesn't fit into a quote unquote modern society. And you're more than likely, if you're going to meet somebody online, which is how we're all meeting these days, you're going to find somebody from a modern situation because they're going to have a smartphone just like you. They're going to be connected to some form of major industrious city or town, or somebody's got some technology, some Wi-Fi. Otherwise, y'all ain't even talking, right? Unless you just went there and met somebody. And if they were from the countryside or a village life or whatever, you know, if that's your preference, fine. But more than likely, you're going to meet somebody online, you're going to be intrigued, and then you're going to go possibly have a vacation, meet them, try to have just that first meetup experience, indulge in each other in every wonderful way, and come back with a new state of mind of consideration of, wow, that was amazing. Do I want those kind of options in my life? And you might want to keep exploring, or you might want to settle down. So in my experience, I literally met someone, had no intentions whatsoever of this becoming something serious. That was never my intention. And this was not the first time I met, okay? I'm going to talk about this one situation that actually put me on a plane. And I'm going to say, too, that I had a few other experiences that could have put me on a plane. But even those ended abruptly or ended later after a lot was established because you found out something about the person and some shocking thing. This happened to me and you realize, whoa, let me pump my brakes and realize, again, as you hear the phrase sometimes, the grass is not always greener and people are people everywhere. Humans are humans everywhere. So there's some things just about being human. Ain't got nothing to do with being American or from another country. It's just human. Okay? Right. And when you come across it, it's going to have the same effect it has on you at home. It's going to give you that same disturbing feeling of, wow, oh man, did I just dodge a bullet? That was a major red flag. Why did I not just know that was enough to get the hell out? But we're human and we're trying to find something and we're all looking for the best and something to make us happy. And a lot of times, because of some of the stress you've been through here in America, fellas, and ladies, if you're interested in this lifestyle, understand you're going to find people who are going to amaze you so much with some of the things you're not used to that alone is going to be enough to hold your attention. Where when the red flags come up, you might ignore them because, yo, that don't even seem like a big deal because I tell you what, at least she's not doing this, all them things that you used to that get on your last nerve in America, but she's doing something else and maybe you don't take it that serious. And then you find out later, oh, that was something I should have taken serious. That was something to keep an eye on. That was something this person was kind of hinting at is their deal breaker. But you know, and here's the thing, a lot of times when I come across that, I'm going to ask, like, is that a deal breaker? And in this situation, I got, no, it's not. Okay, so we continue. But it was. And the only way you can really know if a deal breaker is a deal breaker is if someone says, oh, it's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. Well, try it, okay? And when that option was tried, all hell can break loose. And unfortunately, everything you built can crumble because people are still people. And these emotions don't change too much from person to person. They just come in different degrees. And you got to find the person for compatibility that matches your percentage rate enough for some of these things that would bother you or bother them not to bother each other. It's like, all right, we can get over that, and you keep going. But if it's like, nope, we cannot get past this, then it's not going to work. It's not going to work. you.